Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday. My name is Kat Robinson, and I am the current president of the Women in STEM Club here at the University of Arizona Global Campus. And I'm super excited to welcome you all to our July event. Just a quick intro for those that may not have joined us before. We are a student-led organization which focuses on STEM careers for women. Our club includes the UAGC Women in Technology International Chapter and the UAGC chapter of Girls Who Code College Loop. So University of Arizona Global Campus Women in STEM strives to provide a pathway to educate, engage, and encourage women's equality and inclusion globally in all STEM careers. We also look to partner with industry leaders and the community to create an atmosphere that encourages and promotes STEM careers for women. We look forward to supporting our members in many facets of their college and career goals. I want to thank you again for joining us today. And now I will pass the mic over to our faculty advisor, Lisa Sims.
Thank you, Kat, and good afternoon to everyone. As Kat said, I am Lisa Sims. I am the lead faculty advisor for the Women in STEM, and I want to thank you for joining us for our ROI of STEM careers. And today we want to empower you and give you the information that you need about STEM careers. Whether you are currently in a STEM career or you're thinking about transitioning to a STEM career, we are going to give you some beneficial information that is going to help you no matter where you are in your journey. And so today, we encourage you to actively participate in this meeting. So if you have any questions or thoughts, you can feel free to use the chat. You can also unmute yourself, and if you'd like, you can turn on your camera. And you can also use the reactions if you want to raise your hand. Any of those are acceptable ways, and we will acknowledge you. We want you to feel at home here as we get into this interesting discussion today. And so before we get into that, I want to kind of gauge where we are in terms of where everybody is in their journey. I'm just going to kind of launch a poll here. And if you could just go ahead and just kind of let us know what option best describes you today so that we can kind of tailor our message exactly to you. We want to give it to you just the way you need it. And so I'm going to give a few seconds here as the results come in. All right, it looks like results are in. I'm going to end and share the results here. And so it looks like, okay, 71% are interested in learning more about STEM fields. Okay, and then we're kind of tied with you're currently majoring in the STEM field and interested in transitioning to a STEM field. Okay, so that helps us to know how we can tailor our message to you today. And so what I'm going to do now is I am going to turn it over to our faculty advisor, Dr. Tahara, and she is going to give us information on the STEM economy. So Dr. Tahara, take it away. You're on mute, Dr. Tahara.
I think it helps to unmute. I'm Tahara Danishi, the lead faculty for Master of Science in Technology Management. And I think I'm going to address where everybody wants to be, and that is those who want to see the future of STEM or technology positions for women. So what I will do here I will go ahead and let me also tell you, I have about 30 years of experience in technical and also higher education, all in technology. And what I want to share with you today is exceptional opportunities that are available for women in STEM nowadays, and also the future of women in STEM job opportunities. I get all my data from US Bureau of Labor Statistics. So in order for me to go ahead and do what I'm going to claim, let me show you and share it, the data from the latest data I have from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. Let me see if I can get my screen up and share the data. Okay. Let me see. All right. Can you all see the data? It's very simple spreadsheet. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, Wendy, very good. Let us focus on line 4 of this spreadsheet and line 5. Line 4 is STEM occupations, and line 5 is non-STEM occupations. The very last column here is data from year 2021. That is last year. Actually, I have something about April of 2022, but they're very close. It's just increased by a little on the STEM side. The data shows that STEM occupations, the number of jobs, will increase by the year 2030, which is 8 years from now, by 10.5%. Whereas non-STEM jobs will increase by 7.5%. That means there is 3% more jobs in STEM fields than non-STEM fields. Now, the topic of this discussion for today is return on investment. Let me take you to the very last column, which is the data on actual salaries in 2021. Notice STEM salaries is over 95,000 median. What it means is that half people make less than 95,000, and half of the ones, the data that was collected, make more than 95,000. So if you get the experience, there's a good chance you will make it more than 95,000. Now let's look at non-STEM. Do you see what that is? You look at it, 40,000. We are STEM jobs pays almost 2.5%, 2.5 times more than non-STEM. In actual number would be about 2.4. Wow, twice the salary. This is really return on investment, isn't it? Twice the salary. So it is worth the effort you put upfront to get the education, because it's a lifetime improvements. Not only you have jobs, you make more money. Look at the number that is increasing in there. So I stopped sharing this. And I'll go back, let me try again. Another data. The data is actually jobs that are available in the government. Now, we all think that everything is an industry, there are more jobs opening in government in technology than non-technology. Actually, we will have 8% increase in technology positions in government versus decrease of 2% in non-STEM in government positions. Let me open up, share another file to see exact number of amount of salaries. Let me see which file I want to share. Now this, can you see the file? This is probably a little harder to read because it's a small. I try to shrink it as much as I want because it's a huge file. There's a lot of different fields. These, first of all, look at the requirements or bachelor degree, except for computer support, IT support. You normally get a skill set. So you can get some kind of certification. The salary still is not bad. It's about 58,000. On computer, the top one is computer networking. The median salary is 120. You look at computer support, no degree required, but a skill set required. You look at system analyst, 99,000. This is median salary. And again, when you look at, compare it to other fields, we are at least twice more paid than the average salary. And that is one reason is the number of jobs are increasing, so they have to pay you more. Any questions on any of this data? The data, as you look through it, look at all of them require a bachelor degree. So having a degree somehow, although a lot of it is skill sets, but having a degree makes a difference on how much you get paid, on the amount of salary that you make. Okay, where are these jobs? We keep on talking about technology. Technology is really huge. Where are the jobs? Where do you work in government? Where do you work when you're having a technology positions? Well, demand for these workers in computing is increasing because of cloud computing, storage, data demand, AI, information security, and just look around you. How much of your daily activities, the services, your job function is depending on technology. Look at your banking, look at healthcare, look at education, especially for those of you who are online education. Look at your shopping, look at your entertainment. Isn't everything becoming a streaming now? You just name it. There is a technology element that involves in the services that you're getting, the functions that you're performing every day. And we need the skill sets to support these jobs. Recent political situation is actually going to make the demand more because we are getting to the point that we like to bring the jobs within the United States. We need the skill sets. So I'll stop here and pass it on. If there are no questions, immediate question, I'll pass it on to Dr. Karen Ivey.
Thank you, Dr. Tahera. I am Dr. Karen Ivey, located in Denver, Colorado, the hot Denver, Colorado right now. I'm department chair of our technology studies organization. There was a question that did pop up in chat, and guys, this is not a presentation, especially I'm going to talk about the importance of internships. So I want everybody to turn on your cameras if you feel comfortable in doing that, and be ready to unmute your mic because I will be asking questions. Someone asked in the question, how do I switch into STEM? Tahara, did you want to take that as you were talking about the STEM jobs?
Actually, yes, I do.
Mhm.
Because I teach master's level, so my students are supposed to have a technology degree, but amazingly, their jobs are, a lot of them are in sales. I have a lot of students in sales. Look at what is being sold these days. Look at all the applications. There's a salesman in there. I have a lot of marketing. You have to be able to speak the language of customer and understand their needs. What are their needs? What are you guys buying? You're all buying technology. Look at buying watches, with phones, TVs, streaming services. And these are my students. They are all coming to technology side so they can do their function. We have the students or even advisor or insurance companies. So whether you're MBA or project management, majority of projects are in technology. All of you could actually enhance your career. I always tell my students, it is a very good idea to have a background in some field that will help you tremendously to be part of technology side of it. Look, retail, they're all becoming technology oriented, but you need to have that retail experience. You will do a lot better if you go with your retail experience and go to technology. With your MBA marketing experience, go to technology side. Salesperson, go to technology. Healthcare, 25% of jobs in IT are being created in healthcare. So you have a healthcare background? Yes, go to technology. Learn the technology side. See how you're functioning around with even healthcare nowadays. Yes, learn the technology. There's never too late to move into technology, no matter what your background is.
Thank you, Dr. Tahara. And I see Saba, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, you're interested in data and you are doing your MBA. So the first thing that I would tell anyone interested in going into STEM is to do your research. Find out what are the types of jobs, as Dr. Tahara was talking through, that exist in STEM, specifically that are aligned to what you are interested in. There are tons of jobs within data, as example, relating to STEM. Do your research. Look up, go into Indeed, go into any type of job search feature, pull up jobs so you get used to the job titles and what the individuals are expected to do in the jobs. That will help you then to not only know I'm interested maybe in data in IT, but when I go into Indeed and I put in information technology and data and it pulls up a list of jobs, or Handshake pulls up a list of jobs, I can look at those particular titles and see exactly what individuals do in those positions. I can see what's required from an educational standpoint, prior experience standpoint, and confirm if indeed I'm interested in that. So that is a good starting point right there. And then once you see what you are interested in, you can see if there are any areas that you have a void in, as far as maybe you need to study more, take more classes, electives that are aligned to that particular area, even as you're going through your MBA. And then when you're ready to actually step into the jobs, go into the jobs, you can know what skills you have, what skills you don't have, what you need to work on, and what you feel you can do in easing into the job, transitioning into the job. If you have prior experience, do not forget your prior experience, because as Tahara was saying, you can use that prior experience to take that into an IT related job. So speaking about experience, we're going to now have a good little wrap session here on the importance of internships. So I first have a question, and this is where I'm asking people, come off your mics. This is definitely not a presentation. How many individuals have previously been engaged in an internship? You can use the reaction button to raise your hand so we can see. Raise your hand. Yes, you can put it into chat as well. Has anyone been involved in an internship before, a job internship before? Okay, got some hands raised. Yep, some no, have not done that. All right. So let me ask everyone, no intern yet. Okay, all right, we got you. We got you. For those who have been in an internship and those who have not yet been in an internship, but we've heard about it, we know what internships are. Internships is when you are offered an opportunity to work for a company or individual, and on that job, you are able to gain experience. It could be gaining experience aligned with what you're studying, gaining experience in a new career direction, gaining experience, and even finding out what jobs are available within a particular area. That's what an internship is. Now, I'm going to ask you guys, what's the benefit of an internship? And you can come off from your mic and then go ahead and shout it out. Anybody? What's the benefit of an internship?
Experience.
Gaining experience, definitely.
Networking.
Networking, yes.
I've also seen people do repeat internships at the same companies as well. Like they'll ask them back the following summer, depending on when they started.
That's a really cool point right there, because you can begin early doing summer internships, keep going back to the same company, because what you're doing is you're expanding and finding out more about different parts of that organization, different types of jobs and functions. And guess what? They're finding out more about you as well, so that when you're ready to be hired, a lot of organizations in the company know about you. Great point, man. Let's see, in the chat, they said you gain experience. Saba said you learn the skills needed for the job. Exactly, exactly. Give me some other benefits of internships. We're doing good.
Resume building.
Resume building, very impressive, because when you go to interview for a job, having some experience in that area is key. And internships are a definite direction to gain that experience and put that right on your resume. That's a wonderful point. How about some more?
Something else to add for you, Dr. Ivy, is that when you do internships, as well as several different programs like fellowships, presidential management fellows, there's all kinds of ones that are out there. Not only do you end up working for that organization, but because they contract with other companies, you now are exposed to other companies and learn about how they operate. So then you get to see a whole plethora of different employers, and that is very beneficial to anyone, because now you can lay out your options and decide what you would like to do.
Exactly, exactly. That networking, expanding your branch. Roseanne, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Bensley is the last name, said internships help you discover what you like and what you don't like. And that's very important. And that's a key benefit of internships. Okay, let's see. Someone, I think others had come off to share.
Building confidence. I'm currently going through training to start an internship, and it really helps you gain the confidence in what you're doing, and it kind of helps fight off that imposter syndrome.
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. That's a very good point. When we start into a job, when we transition into a job, yes, we do need confidence building. It doesn't matter what level of position we're going into that job or industry, we have to build our confidence. That's where building our expertise, our experience, connections, and networking, all of that plays in. That confidence building is very important. Let's see, Stephanie said an internship can turn into a job offer. Could be a job. Yes, yes, definitely could be a job. Let's see. I had 8 points I wanted to throw out. Several of them we said already. Let me go through the 8 that I had. Gain valuable work experience. We talked about that already. Explore a career path. As it was said, again, this could introduce you to new career opportunities within different companies, within the same company. If you continue to go back to that same company, you can find out new career paths and opportunities. Give yourself an edge in the job market. Isn't that something that we need these days? I have a slide up as we finish that I'll show. It's on competition. And while this is a very good market for individuals going into IT industry, expanding in the IT industry, it's also true where competition is high. And so you want something that gives you that extra boost, and an internship can be that for you. Develop and refine your skills, right? We never know everything. In IT, in the IT industry, for those who are working in the IT industry, do you know everything about your area? You can come off from the mic and say something. Yes or no? Just come off from the mic and share.
You know, it'd be hard to say anybody knew anything, Dr. Ivy, about everything about there is to know about technology. But I think I just want to add one more thing if I can. If I can interject, I really think that giving back, some of the internships you can get are not just about you pursuing a career, it's really about giving back as well. So giving back to your community is a nice way to look at it. But yeah, there's people that work at libraries or support different areas of technology. So that's a fun way to intern as well. Thank
Definitely.
you.
Fantastic point. Fantastic point. I think, Lisa, you were saying no as well?
Yes, I was, we may think we know everything, but we don't. What you learn in school, and I can say from experience, what you learn in school is totally different when you get out into the real world. So no.
Yes, yes. We will always be continuously learning in IT. Why? Even as we talk right now, guess what? Technology is changing. And so there's always something you can learn. You can learn that in internships as well. And Michael's point, as far as being able to give back, that's another ROI, return on investment point too, of going into the technology field where you are developing yourself to help others, to help to build others. And that's a key area too of giving back. 5th one, receive financial compensation, get paid. There are free internships, there are paid internships. And as I wrap up, I'm going to put some links in the chat where you can actually find some potential paid internships as you're ready to go and seek those. Someone said networking. I think that was my end, developing your network, network with professionals in the field. Starting early is not early enough. You can always start early in developing those connections in your field. Gain confidence, Kat, hit that, nailed that one right on the bullet there, especially with technology. There is always learning. And so you want to be confident and gain your confidence in the field. And the 8th one that I wanted to mention is transitioning into a job. So if you are changing, Saba was asking, how do I get into technology? Internships will be excellent for that because it lends the opportunity for you to go on board, learn, and apply. And those are the benefits for internships. So I want to wrap up here in my time and just share some links in the chat on some areas where you can go to actually find internships jobs. The first one that I'm sharing out is Handshake. Right? Handshake is an excellent tool, especially for students to go there. If you're looking for internships, search for internships in the specific area that you're looking for. The the companies who are hiring or putting their internship information there, they're waiting on you, Okay, so there is no reason for you not to know where to go for internships. LinkedIn, how many people use LinkedIn? You go there, you can read information, you can post information. Several on this call are very, very active in posting and sharing information in LinkedIn. Did you know LinkedIn has a job search area? All you need to do, go right in there, put in internships in the search field, and it will plop you right into LinkedIn's job finder area and looking for jobs. LinkedIn is also good for building networks. When you look at individuals who work in a particular company, if you go to LinkedIn and you find out, oh, they're working in a company where I want to do an internship, try to connect with them as well. Of course, we're familiar with Indeed, Indeed.com. I didn't hit the LinkedIn one, sorry. There you go. Indeed.com. Indeed lists internships across the various fields. And it's not one or the other as we talk about these different areas where you can go to look for internships. When you are looking for a job, it is and can someone come off from you and fill in the blank? When you're looking for a job, it is a what? Anybody?
Almost like a full-time job, looking for a job.
Thank you. When you're looking for a job, treat it like a job. So that means don't go to one of these opportunities that we're talking about that list internships. I'm putting another one, internships.com. Hit them all. Make it your job to go through all of them to search and look for what you want. Another one is just be aware of state and local areas right in your city, or state and local employment agencies or organizations who offer internships. Government agencies offer internships. Look them up right in the city where you are or near where you live. And then finally, go directly to organizations' websites. So companies routinely post summer internship jobs or internship jobs throughout the year. They have frequencies of when they're posting these jobs as well. To do a summer internship job, they're starting months prior, maybe would you say, Warner, at least 2 or 3 months prior to that summer, when they're actually opening it up and they're going through their interviewing process, right, Warner?
Yeah, at least sometimes they're even at least 6 months. You know, some of them stop in April-ish and then they start in fall. So they start in August or something. Yeah, so and sometimes it's for the next semester as well. So you got to be on top of it and just keep cycling through all these to apply to all of them.
Very good, very good. And if you've missed a cycle, if you're going to a company's website, read on their website when their next cycle will be, because several companies have more than one cycle of posting internships. You could be late for one, but early for the next, right? But you will only find out by going to that company's website. So we've shared several directions where you can go and look for internships. We talked about the benefits and importance of an internship. If you are in a position where you want to benefit from an internship, as we said it, what are you waiting for? We're here to help you as you prepare to go into those positions. So let's see, help me out, guys. Did we miss any questions that may have posted regarding internships?
No questions in the chat. If anyone wants to unmute yourself and ask a question, you can go ahead and do so now, or put it in the chat.
I do like Kat's point that she raised. Kat, why don't you go ahead and come off from mic and mention that LinkedIn feature?
Yeah, so on LinkedIn, there is a feature where you can list yourself as open to employment, and it'll allow employers and recruiters to actually come to you. I mean, it's really helpful, and it's actually how I got into training for the internship that I'm about to start. It puts like a special little frame on your profile picture and everything.
Very excellent point, Kat. And Mayan mentioned that too, when you are applying, be it in LinkedIn, Handshake, or whatever, and you're applying for these positions, Don't forget to follow up and check your email. They could be reaching out to you out of interest and they want to go to the next level with you. So fantastic discussion. Thanks everybody for participating. We're going to turn the floor over to Mr. Werner, who's going to talk more about our career services offerings that we have at UAGC.
I've talked, and thank you for that, Dr. Ivy, and everyone here. Thanks for attending and happy Friday to all. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about specifically today, because I've talked about other things in the past when it came to career services. And granted, we have career services for all of our students and graduates for life, so you can talk to us about your resume, mock interviews, your LinkedIn profile, all that standard stuff. But I wanted to zero in today on Handshake and one thing specific to Handshake, which actually ties into what you were just talking about. And I'm not sure, Lisa, can I share my screen with you? Is that okay? Or
You can.
Great, I would like to do that because now I can show you the Handshake. And now what I'm going to show you, first I want to introduce it and talk about it, events. Because the University of Arizona Global Campus, of course, we hold 2 virtual career fairs each year. We also have information sessions. We're booking several employers now for the entire year and locking all that up. So you have many opportunities to talk to recruiters, have face-to-face conversations with them, one-on-ones, group sessions, things like that. These are some of the things that are done at the virtual career fairs. But we have so many other events too. And if you go into Handshake, which we were just talking about, and you register and go in there and look at jobs and all those other things, there's an area called events. And you can actually go in there and attend these events. So that's what I'm going to show you right now, our view of career services of the tool where we approve these events. And then that way you can see as a student, I don't have that access right now, but you can go in there and you'll see these events that we approve. So Lisa, if I can share my screen, then I can go ahead and show you. And it's really funny, a lot of the things that Dr. Ivy and everybody here mentioned a moment ago, it'll really bring it home when you see this. So can I do that, or how do I just go ahead and share now?
Give me 1 second. You should be able to do it.
I appreciate that, Lisa. Thank you so much.
Hey, no problem.
It'll really bring it home. Trust me. There's some amazing companies here that we are approving, and it's gonna blow your mind when you see them. It's pretty amazing. So Handshake, as Lisa's doing that, again, is a really great tool to not only attend the events year round that we offer, but then you can also go to the actual employers events. So if they have recruiting events, they may have things on resumes, they may have things on how to become a candidate. Some of these events they're hiring for this, and this event. The one I'm going to post today. Oh, that's another point actually, while we're waiting on that to get that up. We have LinkedIn group that we post, our UAGC LinkedIn group, where we post these things that the employers send us. So right now I'm about to post today one for the Mayo Clinic. So the Mayo Clinic has over 3,000 jobs that they recruit for annually, different positions, separate different positions. And they always are recruiting nursing at one point, maybe IT at another point. I will post one today. I think it's for the clinical piece. You'll see that if you go into UAGC LinkedIn. But keep in mind, a lot of these organizations also are always hiring for all kinds of jobs, not just the stereotypical things that we think that the company does. So the Mayo Clinic is a really good example, and I'll show you that as well. But in here, you'll also see a lot of other companies like, you'll see them all. There's so many, Ernst & Young. I mean, I can just go on and on. Once you see them, you'll be like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize we had that. So these are the things that we approve, and then you have the opportunity to go and attend them. Of course, you're doing it on your own. We're not endorsing the companies in doing the events. However, we do support them when it comes to their recruitment efforts year round. So, I mean, in a way, we are partnering with them ultimately. And you have these opportunities where you can now attend these events, both on our side as well as their side. So is it going to allow me, Lisa?
Yeah, try it now and okay. See.
All right, let me give it a shot. So sharing. All right, and give me just one more second here. I'm trying to find the screen. I guess it's this one. Oh, here we go. It's probably this one right here. Okay, so you should all see yourselves, right? So let me pull up LinkedIn, or can you see Handshake now?
Yes.
Great. So I'm going to move this out of the way here. So that way, so in Handshake here, you can see these are the events. And you notice over here on the left, if you can all see this, I have 31 events here that we have posted. And then we get these, this is our view for career services. And we go in there, as I'm losing my voice here, Lavonda Taylor and I, we go through here and we approve these events, and we do this monthly. So the employers will send us stuff, and then we'll post all this in Handshake, and then we get to approve it. So if I go all the way down here and I slide right, you can see all the approvals that we have. And we go in there and we approve the ones that we believe our students would want to attend. So unfortunately, because of the width of this, I don't get the opportunity to show you all in one shot. So I will just go to the very beginning of the posts. And then this way you can see the companies and all that. So sorry about the scrolling. So like here, you can see Vanguard has an event coming up on the 8th. We have Morgan Stanley coming up on 8 to 8/10, Prudential. There's the Mayo Clinic. You can see what they're an information session for all their careers. So they have several that they put up. So one's for nursing. You'll see another one down here later on for clinic. You can see the honors programs, and talking of internships, by the way, here they are. You can actually attend information sessions. This one's being hosted by the FBI for internships. So, I mean, there's so many amazing, this is another one. These I highly recommend for those who are pursuing their MBA and they're like a year from graduating and all that. I attended several of their sessions about 6 months ago. Speaking to Dr. Ivy's point, you know, if you apply for these well in advance, you can compete with jobs in not only DC, but in other areas. A lot of people think that when they go to these sessions, and they tell you all about it, by the way, which is really great. And they tell you how to apply and what's needed and what they're looking for, and the organizations, all the different departments in the US government where you could potentially work. To your point, Dr. Ivy, and we talked about earlier, you could do a fellowship here and then work with all these other amazing companies that they work with at that department of the government. So you get this, not only work with, you know, say Lockheed Martin or something at the same time, and you're working in this particular department. So I always encourage all of our students and graduates to go to these particular students here, of course, for the Presidential Management Fellows. But you can see all of these. It's amazing the things that are in here. We got Wells Fargo here. Here's Ernst & Young again, talking about corporate finance, recruiting session, and then GE Women's Leadership Summit. You can also see the numbers. I'm not sure if the students can get to see, I believe so. I think you can see the number of people that have signed up for them as well, nationwide, which is another wonderful thing. So again, here you're looking at the career services view of us approving them. So I'm going back to page 1. I just noticed that I was on page 2. But this really brings it home about how it's important to get into Handshake and go and see all of these amazing companies that you may have considered. And if you haven't, maybe this is your opportunity to actually attend the event and actually have that face-to-face and meet and network with the recruiters that are there. Because now you have the opportunity, and they usually will post all of their email addresses, and sometimes they even post their phone numbers at the end of the event. So these are all amazing opportunities, again, for our students and graduates to attend. And we're constantly approving these every single month. And we encourage, look at this, General Mills here, another Prudential one there. So AT&T, you can see this for sales and all kinds, education, Texas Health. I mean, it just goes on. Yelp, you never think that, all kinds of things. So Cisco, I mean, we could just go on and on. So I'm going to stop sharing here for just a second, if I can get to that. I have it on.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, of course, please do.
What do you mean when you say that you approve that?
So when the employers are in, we partner with these employers year round, and that's a really great question. And when they send us their events, because they don't automatically just post in Handshake. As an institution, we have to approve their events. So we go through every single month and we approve those events. You know, if like the likelihood of us doing something where they talk about maybe resumes, things like that, and it's strictly devoted to resumes or things like that, or resume help, we probably won't approve that because we already do that at Career Services. We're here to help our students, and we like to be consistent with how we handle all students and graduates when we provide them advice. But we do approve pretty much everything else. So when it comes to, like I said, any type of particular recruiting, We also advertise, this is another way that we advertise their events, is that when they send us any forms, say a flyer, we'll go ahead and post that in LinkedIn group. We also, the LinkedIn group link, as well as UAGC Connect, by the way. So that's another dedicated website that the university has where a lot of these things get posted as well, including jobs and everything else. So I highly encourage students and graduates to go into UAGC Connect as well, if you haven't done so. But the main thing that I wanted to focus on here was Handshake and how all these events are in there, as well as all of the different avenues so that you can go to all these different events in addition to ours. And by the way, our virtual career fairs will land in here as well, and you'll see them. So in this case, our next virtual career fair will be October the 26th. It's a Wednesday, I believe. So we'll eventually be inviting students and graduates. We'll be posting in UAGC Connect, UAGC LinkedIn group, as well as here in Handshake. It'll appear as one of our recruiting event and things like that. But the bottom line, you can see all of these amazing avenues. So if we're talking about trying to get employed, in addition to internships and all, look at all of these wonderful ways that you can get in front of employers and have the face, literally in many cases here, you have the face-to-face, because sometimes depending on the event, they may have breakout rooms. And you can actually have a direct conversation with recruiters one-on-one. So there's all of these amazing ways that you can do this. So absolutely. So I'm trying to stop sharing. I don't know if you have control over that. I'm trying to find a place where I can stop sharing. Sorry. I think this is it. If I cut off, I hope I'm not going to cut it off here if I do this. Let's see. I don't know. I'm trying to find do you know where offhand I can stop sharing or?
Look up.
I see it. I see it. I see it.
Okay.
So ultimately, I just wanted to share in just a few minutes, and I'm wrapping up here. Thank you so much for, first of all, attending our institution. For those who are attending here, thank you to all faculty and staff that do everything for our students every day. I just wanted to share this because it's such a wonderful opportunity, again, to go into Handshake and do all these things that people aren't aware of it. And unless you start telling them, they wouldn't know. So now that you saw it with your own eyes and you can see all the amazing companies that are posting every single month, and we just keep doing it all year long. So another great way, again, to get in front of all these amazing companies and make those connections with recruiters and do that networking and get involved. And the beautiful thing, I've attended many of these. I do sometimes will attend just to hear what they have to say for our students and graduates. And I can personally attest that many of these recruiters and hiring managers, by the way, because they attend them as well, they're very honest and open, and they really want to help. So they're there to assist you and let you know. Sometimes they might be talking at you because they're doing a presentation, but sometimes they're talking with you and they're asking questions along the way, and they're reading the questions in the chat and they're answering them as they go. Or they might have a Q&A at the very end and things of that nature. Keep in mind too, that in Handshake, when you're attending these events, I didn't show you this, I could have showed you this. Had I gone further down and maybe clicked one of the events, I could have showed you all of the different universities that are attending that event. So there's literally universities across the nation that are attending the event. So you see all the logos, and then you see like 100, 200 logos, 300 logos of different universities and the students that are attending. So yes, not only our university, but many, many other institutions. So back to the thing that Dr. Ivy mentioned about competition. So yes, get out there, talk to them. You're competing with all these other people. They're asking the same questions because they're competing against you. So this is a great opportunity for you to ratchet it up and do whatever it takes so that you can get in there and get that job that you truly want. And again, these are great opportunities. So take full advantage of Handshake and all of the free services that we provide at Career Services, including all of our social media. So then that way you have the best foot forward, if you will, when it comes to applying to jobs. So I hope that all this helped all of you.
Well, thank you, Werner. You provided us, as usual, with an abundance of information that is going to help our students.
My pleasure.
To be able to not only locate those jobs, and my segment is called the skills inventory. So it's going to piggyback on Dr. Ivy's portion on the internships, and it's going to piggyback on the handshake. So now that students know, okay, you know you need some internships to gain some experience, you know the tool that you can use to find these, but now comes your skills inventory. What skills do you have to bring to the table? And if you've been on LinkedIn or Indeed and you've seen jobs or your dream job that you've seen and it has the skills listed, and you take a look at your skills and you say, uh-oh, I don't really have all those skills. But don't let that stop you. Don't let that stop you, because you don't have to have every skill that is listed on a job requisition. And so what you also need to realize is that, hey, we are dealing with the skills gap. I know you have heard it. And many people have commented on why we have the skills gap. You know, we've got the Great Resignation going on. Technology continues to evolve at such a rapid rate. And it's going to continue to evolve. And so new skills are going to be needed. And so what you have to do is right now take a skills inventory. When I say skills inventory, I don't just mean technical skills. You need to take an inventory of all your skills, your technical skills, as well as your soft skills. Don't forget those soft skills, because I know I had to interview people from previous jobs, and they were sharp as a tack when it came to their technical skills, but they sucked when it came to their soft skills. They did not have it. They did not have the interpersonal skills. They didn't have the written communication. They just didn't have that synergy to fit into a group. I hired a graphic designer once. He looked good on paper. His portfolio was awesome. He started and he quit within a week. And we all were looking at each other like, what happened to him? And so, we saw some things. Once he started, he was kind of withdrawn. He didn't really gel with the rest. So, work on those interpersonal skills. It's not always about the technical skills. You got to be able to work in a team. You got to be able to know how to communicate effectively. Don't be abrasive. Know how to talk to people. And so take a inventory of those skills. And once you see where you are lacking, then that's when you say, okay, how do I go from deficiency to being at the point where I feel comfortable enough to apply for those jobs? Well, we are living in a time where the internet has just transformed everything. There is training available, and there's free training available. All you have to do is make time. And one of my suggestions that I would advise you to do, that I do for myself, is schedule it on your calendar. I use Google Calendar, and I block off time. It's early in the morning, but that's the only time I can do it, because I have two children, ages 10 and 6. So I have to do it when they're asleep. And so, but I encourage you to do that as well. If you don't schedule, it won't get done. And so one of the free sites that I want to tell you about, and I'm going to put it in the chat as well, it's called Allison.com. And they have an assortment, and that's Allison with one L. They have an assortment of not only technical courses, but also courses on just about anything. They have written communication, interpersonal skills, all those soft skills for nothing. Now, they do put some ads on there. The ads are not bad. If you can wait 10 seconds, it's worth it. But you get some free information there. And then also, if you use Udemy, they also, if you can catch it, you can get free courses over there. And I'll put that in the chat as well. I've taken plenty of courses over there. And then, of course, we don't want to forget about Coursera. You can also go over on Coursera, and you can take courses over there as well. And then for those who are looking to kind of transition into IT, don't forget about the Google certifications. They have different ones from IT support, digital marketing, they have UX design. So don't forget about those as well. And don't forget about LinkedIn Learning either. I use LinkedIn Learning. And the good thing about LinkedIn Learning is when you are taking those courses and once you complete those can actually be added to your LinkedIn profile so that potential employers can see that, hey, you are investing in yourself to further your skill set. Now, I found a resource that I want to share with you. It's a skills inventory PDF. It's from San Jose State University. And so they made this available on their website. And so it's a very good gauge when you're looking at your skills to be able to see where you need to improve. Now, some of the top skills that are hot right now, of course, we've got cybersecurity, we have cloud computing, we've got machine learning, we've got artificial intelligence, data science. So we have a lot of different skills that are hot right now. You just need to determine what your passion is and what you want to do. And so now that you have these tools and these resources to be able to build up the skills that you don't have and improve upon the ones that you do, then when you see a job that's out there, then you can go for it. And always remember what I said, don't feel like you got to be able to have all the skills that are asked for in that job requirement. A lot of companies will train you if you can sell yourself that you are teachable and that you are a quick study. So don't feel like if I don't have everything, don't apply for it. So that is my portion for the skills inventory. I'm going to stop. If anyone has any questions before I turn it over to Kat, and we're going to have a discussion on the, give me one second, on salary versus job title debate. Anyone have any questions on skills inventory? All right. Well, I am going to turn it over to Kat. So Kat, go ahead and take it away for salary versus job title debate.
Hi again, everybody. Okay, so we're going to start off. All of the numbers that I'm about to give you, if you want to learn more in depth about them, they're all pulled straight from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. So you can always visit their website. So on average, those who hold a bachelor's degree, just in general, they usually have median earnings of about 36 to 50,000 a year, which according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics is about 84% higher than people who only have a high school diploma or a GED. And the Bureau of Labor Statistics expects that gap to continue widening over about the next decade. So when you earn a degree and your pay increases, it's because you're being compensated not just for your time and the work you're doing, but you're being compensated for your knowledge, your skills, your experience, and overall just what you bring to the table. So we know that jobs that require degrees will pay more than jobs that require little to no education and only require skills. So we'll look at a kind of breakdown of how this works. And I'm going to hop y'all over to the other side of STEM, and I'm going to use social and behavioral science as an example because I'm a doctoral psychology student and it's the side of the field that I have the most experience with. So when you look at behavioral and social sciences or psychology, it's not just therapy. So there are those who use technology in forensics, cybercrime fighting, and even like neuropsychology. Then there are those who work primarily in statistics and data collection and analysis. Then you have psychology people who focus on the science of human behavior, how the brain functions. And there are even psychology people in advertising and marketing. It is such a huge field. And I mean, there's nearly endless possibilities what you can do with it. So if you enroll in a psych program and you earn a bachelor's degree, you can typically earn between $38,000 and $50,000 a year, like we said earlier. And then if you get the master's degree, you can earn typically between $60,000 and $80,000 a year. So this is where it gets tricky. And it's why you should always pay really close attention to job titles and how those are going to relate to your potential earnings or your return on investment. So with a bachelor's and a master's, you can't market yourself as a psychologist. And that's because in most states, you're required to have the doctorate degree, a PhD or a PsyD, in order to be licensed and have the ability to legally practice as a psychologist. So what I see a lot of times working as a peer mentor for new students is people enroll in psychology programs with the idea that in about the 4 years it takes to earn a bachelor's degree, they're going to be a psychologist. And unfortunately, that's not how it works. So in reality, you're looking at about a minimum of 8 years of higher education. It's going to take you about 4 to earn the bachelor's, about 2 to earn the master's, and then another 2 to 3 to get your doctorate. And that's if you're taking the maximum amount of classes you can at a time. So then you also have to factor in how much that education is going to cost you to go from the bachelor's to the doctorate and pay for licensure fees. You're looking at around a minimum of $100,000. It's a lot. It's a big number and it's scary. So you also have to take into account that certain areas of psychology are very, very heavily saturated, which means it's going to be harder to market yourself in a way to get a job in that area that's earning you enough money where you get that return on investment. So fields of psychology like child psychology, addictions, counseling, mental health technicians, those are super, super saturated. But if you earn the doctorate and become licensed, that's where you're going to start seeing your return on investment. Because those with a doctorate in psychology usually earn on minimum about $100,000 per year. That's about the average. For those in criminal psychology, which is what I'm doing, with the doctorate, you can apply for state and federal jobs, which usually pay on average about $200,000 per year. So the truth of the matter is that before you enroll in a degree program, you should always, always research the career path that you hope to take with that degree. look at all of the projected outcomes of your program, look at the average pay people receive with the degree you're pursuing. And it's especially true for folks in online programs that are research-based and don't typically result in licensure. So you want to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into, what it's going to cost you, and what the return on investment is going to look like and how long it's going to take you to see that return. So take full advantage of resources like career services, because they can truly be a lifeline as you're working towards your degree, and they can help you kind of figure out and plan for what kind of career that you're hoping to pursue once you complete your degree. So that is basically what I have. If you have questions, I would be more than happy to help answer them or help you find the answer if I don't have it. And I thank y'all for listening to me today.
Well, thank you, Kat. One of the things I'll just add in there is that with the job titles, you want to pay attention to the job titles, because what the job title says really can help you as you are trying to move up the ladder in corporate America if you so choose. Now, a lot of companies, they look at it, if you have a manager or lead or something of that effect in the job title, that can in essence get you more money. So you want to, it's a toss-up. What do you want, more money up front, or do you want the actual job title? And then one of the things I've seen over my career is that the higher your job title is, now you can go all the way if you want to, it's hard to go from a higher job title back down to a lower job title, because people are going to start asking questions. If, case in point, if you're a vice president and then you move down to, say, a manager, somebody's going to start asking some questions. So just keep that in mind as you're looking at the job titles, and you want to show growth potential and also get money at the same time, but just pay attention to that as you are looking for your job titles. And so I'm going to close us out with education funding sources. As we have seen, everything from gas to groceries is going up, and education is one of those things that's going up too. And so you are probably using one of the following methods. You're either funding your education yourself through student loans, or you're taking advantage of your company's tuition reimbursement program. But then there's also another way that you can also finance your college degree, and that's through scholarships. And there are, there's, of course, you got the Pell Grants and everything, but the scholarships, you don't want to leave the money on the table when you can actually have that money applied to your college. I know for undergrad, I finished my undergrad debt-free. I had a plan, I worked my plan, I walked out with a job and no debt. So that was my plan. And I also had scholarships, and I funded it myself. But there are companies such as Microsoft that actually provide scholarships. And so, as with anything, you have to be on top of when the scholarship deadlines are so that you can apply. And there are many scholarships that are available for people that are majoring in STEM, particularly women. And I'm going to put some of these scholarship sites into the chat so that you can actually go ahead and research some of those. I put the Microsoft scholarship that's in there, and also you can search for other scholarships on this particular site as well. And then I'm also going to put another link to a website where you can actually find some STEM scholarships. But don't forget about scholarships. They are a great way to help finance your education and reduce your costs and not have to get student loans. So if you have not taken advantage of looking for scholarships, I would highly encourage you to do so. Anyone have any thoughts or have applied for scholarships? Want to share any experience before we wrap up? No.
I have been
Oh.
applying for scholarships through the UAGC student portal, and they make it really, really easy to apply for scholarships.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Kat. And see, everything is right here that you need. We got career services, and then you can go through the UAGC student portal. So don't leave the money on the table. At least try. And let's see. Roseanne has put some other resources for scholarships in the chat. So feel free. Yes, Fast Web. I forgot to mention that one as well. And so take advantage of all these and see what happens. You know, if you don't try, you'll never know. And so with that, I thank you for attending today's event. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to share my screen for a quick second. And with the Women in STEM, we have some exciting meetings and webinars. We bring in industry professionals to give us their firsthand experience of what's going on in the industry. So I highly encourage you to connect with us on UAGC Connect and also on our LinkedIn group page. And if someone could put that in the chat, I would appreciate it. And also we have opportunities for student officers. We have Mayan Colden, who was our previous secretary, and she did such a wonderful job. And we've got Kat, who's our new president. And so we have vacancies for vice president, secretary, and communications officers. These positions are great opportunities, not only to be able to interact with industry professionals, but it looks good on your resume when you have a student officer position. It shows your leadership ability. So if you are interested in being a Women in STEM student officer, you can email us at wis@uagc.edu, and I will also put my email address in the chat. And if you are interested, we would love to have you as well as a student officer. And then also for our LinkedIn group, we also have postings for the Girls Who Code College Loop. They are having a hiring summit, I believe next month. I don't know the exact date off the top of my head, but I know it's next month, and it's posted on our LinkedIn group. And then we also there's another group that's not affiliated with Girls Who Code called Women Who Code, and membership is free with that organization. And they have a lot of online events where you can learn various aspects of coding. And they also do various events on interviewing and job preparation. So I would highly encourage you to join that as well. And then we also have mentoring opportunities through our technology studies group. And if you're interested in that, you can also email us and we'll get you connected with the right people. And so with that, I am just excited that you attended today, and I hope that the information that was shared really helps you to be able to see the return on investment for STEM careers and actually see how you can actually, it seems like majority of the people are looking to transition into STEM, And so I'm gonna leave you with this final point. Don't overlook the power of volunteering. I know we all want to get paid, but sometimes volunteering can actually help you to not only gain skills, but it will also help you to be able to get a job in a particular area because you're gaining that experience and you're gaining a reference. So don't overlook the power of volunteering. I always tell people that it's not always about the money sometimes, but you just got to think outside the box. And so with that, we are going to let you go. We appreciate you and be on the lookout for email communication about our next event that will be in, let's see, we're September. And in September, we will be discussing digital privacy. Someone help me out with the title that we said, or if you know, because I can't remember.
Yes, digital privacy is a good topic, talking about how to protect yourself. When you're in social media, what information not to give out, who's looking at your information. When you feel you're speaking in a group and you're sharing your personal information, think about who else may have access to that information. Digital privacy.
Yes, thank you. And Kat put it in the chat. Privacy in the digital world. I knew it was something. I just couldn't put it together. But we hope you join us in September. More information will be forthcoming. And so we hope you have a great weekend. And if you need anything from us, feel free to reach out. And until then, take care and be safe. Have a good weekend, everybody.